an electronic platform. We encourage potential bidders to register for iSupplier, and that's what Karen would do. Register you if you have. Has everybody registered an iSupplier here? Anybody not registered? Okay, so you two are not registered. So we'll go over that after the session. So let's continue on this. So what is eProcurement? Accessing iSupplier portal for registration. How to register. Delegate agencies. There's nobody here from a delegate agency? No. Okay. Then we'll view the bids and solicitations and how to go online and how to respond to a bid online. And any questions, as Millie said earlier, let's save to the end. Well, eProcurement, this is our enhancement of the city's procurement and financial system that applies digital technology for acquisition of goods and services. So this provides electronic footprint. So what we want to do is alleviate as much paper as we can, where you want to move into the 21st century with everybody else. So we are actually, almost all contract types are out with eProcurement. By the remaining second quarter, we still have 2 more contract units to be pushed out on electronic platform. So we have an iSupplier portal, as I mentioned earlier. For those who are not registered, this is where you would register online. And what's good about this is that you'll be able to view you'll be able to respond to bids, view the bids. You could view your orders, payments, and invoices, and you could update your company information, contacts, address, phone, and email. And we also developed a microsite to help transition with vendors to the e-platform. So when you log in and register, well, I'll do a brief, quick overview on this, and I'll come back to it. Any existing vendors, if you already do business with the city, you'll get an iSupplier invitation. Any new vendors who've never done business with the city, you can actually register directly online, provided that you provide your FEIN number and the IRS W-9 form to be uploaded. So what we're going to do is going to go directly to the site. And so you know that the city is very secure. We use the same type of protocol as the banks do for safety, for security and safety. So when you go the home page, because of the resolution here, it's a little off. This is not how it looks like. The tabs are usually on top here, but this is the website. It's www.citychicago.org/eProcurement. So this is the home page, login registration, overview of the login registration. As I mentioned earlier, if you're a new vendor who've never done business with the city, you can actually register here. If you've done business with the city but you haven't registered for iSupplier and you're in our system, you would have to you have to request an iSupplier invitation, and this is what Karen would do. It would go to her, and she would send back a code, or is that correct, Karen?
Okay, so you would send an invitation request to the eProcsupport@cityofchicago.org, and I will get that email. I will look up in the body of the email, if you're an existing vendor, if you could put your vendor number or your FEIN number, it helps me find you faster and get the right vendor. So you would send that email. I would look you up, send you an invitation. Then you would fill out the form that you'll get it'll come from a funny email address, workflowmailer@cityofchicago.org. You will fill out the information. It'll come back to me for approval. Once I approve it, then you'll get back another email with your login credentials, which is usually your email address and a temporary password. Then you will go in and change your password, and then you'll be able to navigate the portal, look around, bid, change your information, like you said, view any previous or current contracts, payments, invoices.
And then on the portal, we have current bids and solicitation. As I mentioned, that we're still taking both paper, but we highly encourage bidding electronically. 2 contract types are going to be pushed out there by the end of Q2, is vehicles and heavy equipment and work services. For the most part, we're just about almost every contract type is on board is electronic. So what we want to do, and if you look at our website, on the procurement website, we have a eProcurement bid and solicitation opportunities, and these are our electronic bids here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to look at this one, 6189. I am a prospective bidder. You don't have to be registered to view this. You do have to be registered to bid on this bid. Okay.
Now, can you go back? Okay. 6141 for aviation. Can you click in it, please?
No, because we're in a test mode here. I know. This, don't even look at this. This is a test. We're going to be 6189. I had to create this. We cannot go live because there's live bids out there, and people are bidding on there. So if you want to look at the live bids, you can go on the website and do that. I cannot do a fake. I cannot respond on showing this as training. So I'm going to do. We're going to be working with 6189 on this one. So, okay. So I clicked on the abstract here, and what it is that this gives you an overview what the bid is, right? It tells you when's the pre-solicitation conference. It says it was yesterday, but this is for showing purposes only. It gives you all the information, and to get more information on the spec itself, it tells you when the advertisement date was. It shows you when the response due date is for the bid, 27th of March. And then if you want to see the full spec, you want to click on the PDF file, the document right here. And it just takes a little while to open up. So here's how the full spec looks when you open up the PDF. This is the full spec. And what I suggest is that we always suggest either you download it or minimize it to save it. This way, if you're bidding, you can refer back to it while you're answering the questions. So this is the entire spec. It'll tell you the information, what's required, your requirements, terms and conditions, what you need to answer for what's required. And this one's a Department of Family Support Services, so this is a little bit detailed. And then the next one is going to be, okay, you want to respond to this bid? So, okay, let's log in. So we're logging in. And I logged in. And I'll go into City Chicago Online Bidding, Sourcing homepage. And then what we want to do is put the number in here. Here we go, 6189. And then we want to respond to this. So we'll hit the radio button here for select, or you can click on the number and click on respond. This is very important. These are terms and conditions. You have to read this in its entirety and agree to this. Once you agree to it and you accept it, this puts you automatically on the takeout list. If there are to be any addendums or modifications, you don't have to check and call. You're going to be automatically emailed the update. So this is a very important page, a very important step, otherwise you will not get any updates. So then you would hit accept on T's and C's, and here's where you're going to start with your bidding. So this is the new header page. What used to be the cover page in paper solicitation, this is now the cover page, the header page. Who's the supplier? I'm the one who logged in as KWM Paints. Currency. Here's the requirements. You would fill this in: first name, last name, phone number, email address, contract type, etc., etc., etc. And these are just basic questions that you would answer. Organizational capacity, depending on what you're bidding for. If it's a commodity, it's going to be a different set of questions. This is Department of Family Support and Services, so it's a little bit different. So we just grabbed a sample of this one, and then so I'll just put in. Just fill it out. Paints. What does KW and Paints have to do with Department of Family Support Services? Well, maybe they're going to be painting the preschools for the for Head Start, you know. So, you know, you never know. What you always want to do is save often and save early and save often, because you could always go back if you save it as a draft. You could always update it. You could always, if you get busy and you need to log out, save it as a draft, because you can return to the draft. You could change it as many times as you want to prior to submission. Even once you submitted it before the deadline, you can go back to it, and any active bid you can change as long as it's before the closing date. So what we did is that we filled out all the required information. A lot of times there's yes and no answers to this. So this is just a different type of a bid. And we save this. And we're going to continue. Okay. And then we're going to go into the line section. The line section is now your new proposal page. What used to be your proposal page in the paper is the line section here is on this. And here's where you start putting your quotes in. Now, if you have to bid on everything, if it's not grouped, if you don't bid on everything, you'll be deemed as non-responsive, and the bid potentially will not be counted. So if you're not going to, you have to bid something. If it's going to be 0, put a decimal point with 6 zeros and a 1. If you're not going to bid it. At that point, that may not even work. No, I stand corrected. You have to bid if there's no groups. Say this is like one group here, then it's separate. There's another group, another item. You can bid on one group. You don't have to bid on all the groups. If it's one group like this, you have to bid on everything. That's right. Save your draft. So you get a quote here. You got this quote 109-207. Let's view our RFQ. Oh, guess what? So this gives you a summary of what we just did. You could expand these sections. The plus signs shows that you could expand these sections, contact information, and you could view it by clicking on the little glasses here. Project description, same thing. Organization information, same thing. And your target, your view. And this is based on and this is just a sample for training purposes. It gives you what the notes and attachments are, gives you a brief summary, gives you the budget here. And you want to create a quote if you want to update. So on the action drop down, create quote is to, if you want to add an attachment. Say you forgot something to attach. So, and any kind of changes to your bid, you want to, even if you want to change the pricing, You want to create quote, and then go into lines. And here is I'm adding the attachment. Say I forgot to put the insurance form. For this bid for us to see electronically that there was a change to this bid, because if you lack whatever requirements, if you lack the requirement of this attachment, the bid will be non-responsive. So for us to see it, or for the computer to see it, once you put in you're putting your attachments, sample. You could keep adding another, and another, and another, but you have to put a note to buyer, updated. Just put updated and the date. So they know it's updated, it automatically registers there's been a change to this bid. If you want to make a change to your price, and then you realize that you go back and you realize that, oh, I didn't do on this price because it's going to be thrown out. You need to put a price on every single line if it's not grouped. Put a price here. Save draft. Continue. It's giving me these errors because I have to answer every single question. Value for requirement for providing youth to be hired. We don't hit the back button. Instead, we saved it as a draft. We'll go back to home. Bad. So here's the solicitation number. Contract terms. Controls. Buyer may close negotiation date before close date. Nope. These are going to be pre-checked for you as you're bidding. Lines. This will be what you bid on, and it does extend. The price extends when you're bidding towards the end, right when you submit. It's not going to go across. It'll be at the bottom. But this is, like I said, this is the Department of Family Support Services, and it doesn't extend the price on this one. Let's see. Controls, header, and you can review each item here. And it'll tell you what you're missing, what you need to complete. Save as draft, save as draft, save as draft. You could update your, you could delete or update your attachment, or see what you attached. If you attached the wrong version of what was required, you could update that. As I mentioned, when you update the attachment, you got to do create quote to update. And just put updated in the note to buyer. And it was the insurance form. Or you can delete it, say you attached the wrong one. You could attach a new one. Okay. So this is how actually the website would look, but due to the resolution issues, to make it bigger, you see a different format, how it is. And just to go over a review on this. Details. Log in. And this is another version of how this page would look with yes/no questions. We had other questions because it was dependent on that type of solicitation. It was a DFSS one. So this is how your other forms would look, or commodities, or construction, or commodities, work services, ProServe as well. Adding attachments, changing your prices, saving the draft. Your electronic signature's at the end. So you sign it to acknowledge it. And then once you're registered, and I'll show you, okay, so yeah. We also provide training materials on the website. That would be these are the training materials we provide. Reviewing the solicitation document. We have a PDF and a video. Printing the solicitation. Reply for additional information, and that's through a tool called online messaging. And if you still don't find the answer you're looking for, if you don't find it in here, we do have a help down here. eProcurement support, and it's a hyperlink, but it's a mailbox. It prompts you to an email. They'll email this for help desk. Payments inquiries do not go to us; they go to finance, and you can send any request if you're wondering where your payment is. You don't see it on the website. You could contact them directly by emailing them, or you have login assistance. If you're already registered, you can reset your own password through that. So this is very easy to reset your own password. It's a very intuitive tool. The microsite is. I think the iSupplier portal is pretty intuitive for the most part, and bidding is. If anybody has done bidding with the state on their tool, on their eProcurement tool, it's intuitive as well. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a timeout?
I'm going to ask to hold just because we're live on YouTube, so I want to make sure that they capture your question and they can hear you.
Is there a timeout limit where if you're on the website and you're not using it, it'll time you out?
Yes, because you're through FMPS, the financial management system. There is a timeout. Like with any software, and it's Oracle-based, I believe it's several minutes, less than 5 for sure. It does time you out. Even when I walk away, it times me out.
Anyone else? No?
Yes. Now the resources for iSupplier, it's eProc support. It's on the website. It's on the microsite, but it's also in your handouts. It's eProc support
At
Chicago.org. Right here. eProc support. I don't think we have any delegate agencies here. Do we have any delegate agencies? Okay. So for delegate agencies, it's a little bit different. You would email them directly for any kind of support. And delegate agencies have a different type of training materials, but it's housed on our site. We're together, but we're not. We do things a little bit differently. So their training materials are also on the site for delegates. And to register, they have a different registration process. So you would go to the site, go to the page and check it out. So who's not registered with iSupplier? You're not registered? Okay. Would you like to be registered?
Yes.
Have you done business with the city before?
As a company, yes.
Okay, so you're already in the system. So what Karen could do is take your information down and she'll send you an email so you can register.
I can give you one of my cards and you can email me
Right.
your information and I can get you your invitation and get you set up.
Yeah. Everybody else is registered in iSupplier? You're not?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, we can check that for you. Why don't you give us your card and we'll check to see if you are. And if you aren't, we'll send you an email. Have you put a bid online?
No, it would be for the company, and we are doing business with the city, but obviously there are multiple people in our organization.
Yes.
So.